Hello, and thank you for joining this webinar. My name is Ashley Garrity, and I am the Workforce Development Program Manager for the SOMAH program. The purpose of the Job Training Requirements Overview and What Resources webinar is to dive deeper into the SOMAH job training requirements. This webinar is mainly designed with contractors in mind, as they are the group responsible for completing job training requirements. However, anyone interested in better understanding the job training requirements is encouraged to keep watching. The webinar is designed to support contractors in understanding and fulfilling the job training requirements as they are described in the SOMAH Program Handbook. For today's agenda, I will first introduce the SOMAH program and the workforce development team's role in the program. In the second section, I will review each of the job training requirements in greater detail. In the third and final section, I will share the many resources available to contractors and how you can seek support from our team. First up, an introduction to the SOMAH program and SOMAH workforce development team. What is SOMAH? SOMAH stands for Solar on Multifamily Affordable Housing. The SOMAH program provides financial incentives for installing solar systems and energy storage that benefit both low-income tenants and property owners throughout California. The SOMAH program was created largely by the advocacy efforts of environmental justice groups and is funded by greenhouse gas auction revenues through California's Cap and Trade program. SOMAH works to expand clean energy access to low-income and environmental justice communities. Here are some recent numbers from August of this year. SOMAH is currently serving more than 60,000 low-income households throughout the state, with SOMAH properties installing an average of 215 kilowatts of solar per property. There are currently 15 participating contractors in the program and an additional 28 subcontractors. Current SOMAH projects will support roughly 1,440 paid job training opportunities for local job seekers with over 91,000 training hours. This translates to over $3 million in wages for job trainees. Trainees have graduated from 33 job training organizations across the state. This slide gives a snapshot of SOMAH's completed projects and where they are located across the state. You can see that the number of completed projects has grown significantly since October of 2024, less than 1 year ago. 35% of these completed projects, indicated with the yellow dots, are located in disadvantaged communities, or DACs, as defined by Cal Enviroscreen. As you know, each SOMAH project must comply with a set of job training requirements. Our job is to make sure that everyone who interacts with the SOMAH program has what they need in order to meet these requirements. The SOMAH workforce development team is currently made up of myself and my colleague Ingrid. My work is to primarily support contractors, and Ingrid's work is to primarily support trainees and job training organizations. We work together to facilitate relationships across these groups. It is our goal and our responsibility to ensure that job training requirements are being met by all applicants. Here are the goals that guide how we, on the workforce development team, carry out this responsibility. The SOMAH program's local and targeted hiring initiatives are designed to ensure that jobs are intentionally made available to community members. While local and targeted hiring are not currently required by the SOMAH program, they are strongly encouraged. Local hires include trainees who reside in the same county as the project. And individuals meeting targeted hire can include residents of disadvantaged communities, affordable housing residents, women, people of color, tribal community residents, and any other individual who have faced a barrier to employment. Other priorities of the SOMAH workforce development team include stimulating economic and workforce development, creating job training opportunities for entering the solar industry, and building community trust. Who do we work with? Our team works with contractors, job training organizations, and job trainees. Through building relationships across these three groups, we facilitate meaningful career pathways for individuals wanting to enter or further their careers in solar industry. Our role is to ensure that all contractors are complying with SOMAH's job training requirements, including meeting the minimum number of hours and trainees hired, and completing post-installation survey requirements. We support contractors' fulfillment of SOMAH's job training requirements by connecting them with job seekers and local job training organizations, or JTOs, thus helping to ensure that SOMAH trainees are local and targeted hires. Most of SOMAH's current applications are contractor-led. The workforce development team supports contractors in finding and recruiting eligible SOMAH trainees. We also help with job training portal assistance, and we are here to support contractors with any need that arises during their application process. The SOMAH Workforce Development Team is responsible for ensuring that SOMAH provides trainees with a meaningful training opportunity that supports their growth and development. We connect job seekers with job opportunities by sharing their resumes with contractors for SOMAH job training opportunities. We encourage job seekers and prospective trainees to sign up for this SOMAH job training portal. This is where they can utilize the resume bank and job board to find open training opportunities and connect with SOMAH contractors. We also educate job seekers and trainees on career development resources and solar career opportunities through webinars and through one-on-one support. Additionally, we work with job training organizations, or JTOs. These are eligible job training programs which include over 40 hours of instructional or hands-on PV installation and design training. Career technical education programs related to green building construction or design offering over 40 hours of instruction are also eligible and can be considered eligible job training organizations. You can find eligible job training programs on our JTO directory, which I will now do a walkthrough of. This is our job training organization directory, which, as you can see, has the list of over 95 job training organizations across the state that qualify and include eligible job training programs. You can enter your zip code here. I will enter a zip code in Sacramento. And you can choose how far from your project you want to search. This is a helpful resource for any potential trainee looking to find a job training program, or for any contractor looking to find a program in their area where they can seek graduates or students to hire. Connecting with local job training organizations is a great way for contractors to find candidates for trainee positions. You can search for JTOs in your area, or you can reach out to us on the workforce development team to connect you with any that we are already connected to. Our role in working with job training organizations is to inform them of SOMAH eligible job training positions in their area. These are a great pathway for their students and graduates to get hands-on experience, paid hands-on experience with multifamily solar photovoltaic installation projects. For the next section, I will provide an overview of job training requirements. This graphic here provides a list of the job training requirements, and we will go into each in much greater detail. Contractors are responsible for ensuring that all of these requirements are completed. First off, contractors must post all job training opportunities in the SOMAH job portal. Contractors must make sure that all job training positions are posted on the portal at least 60 days prior to installation. They must also manage job training positions on the portal, including marking the job filled once a trainee is selected. This is important because we want to make sure that trainees on the portal only see jobs that are still recruiting applicants. There are two types of SOMAH portal accounts. One is for trainees or prospective job seekers, and the other is for contractors. Contractor accounts must be created manually or manually by our team. We create the account using information provided during the applicant and contractor eligibility training. Contractors may have individual employee accounts or they may share one company account. It is up to you to decide which system works better for your company. If you need us to create additional accounts or if your company does not have an account, please reach out to us at workforce@calsomah.org. Now I will provide a walkthrough of the job portal while signed in as a contractor account. This link right here will take you to the job training portal. Here you will find the login screen and you will enter your login information. Please note that your username is your email.somah. If you are having any trouble logging in, this is usually the first thing to check. Once you are logged in, you can confirm that you have a contractor account by clicking Jobs on the menu bar at the top. You should see Manage Jobs, and you should also see Post a Job. Please reach out to us if you do not see these on your portal, as that means you have a trainee account, and we can easily switch your portal account to a contractor account. For the walkthrough, first I will show you how to post a job. You'll find Jobs and Post a Job. Here is where you will enter a lot of information, including company, position title, job description, where is the project located, and what is the local minimum wage. The portal will automatically calculate the SOMAH trainee minimum wage, and we will go over wages in further detail at a later section in this webinar. Right here is where you will let the trainees know what the planned wage for this project is. And you'll also enter the project zip code and application number. By default, the jobs are posted privately. That means that it is not available on the job board to prospective trainees. To make it publicly available and to allow prospective trainees to see the job and apply, you will click Publicly Available, and then you will post it. It is also the contractor's responsibility to manage all jobs posted, and you can do so here on the Manage Jobs screen. Here you will see a list of the jobs that you have posted, and that is where you will be able to manage and mark them as filled or still hiring. Another resource for contractors is the resume bank, which I will not click as it contains personally identifiable information of job trainees. Here you can find trainees in your area, and you can also see their resume and their contact information. The job training organization directory can be found here. We went over this previously, and this is another way to access the job training organization. The organizations here listed are the same as the screen I shared earlier. I recommend bookmarking the link to the portal login and also the directory. However, I will show you an easy way to find the portal login via our website. First, you will visit calsomah.org, and then you will hover over the Job Seeker tab. Right here is the job training portal link. Please note that currently there is not a link to the portal under the contractors dropdown. You will have to go to the job seeker dropdown. If at any time you encounter any difficulties with the portal, please reach out to us via workforce@calsomah.org for assistance. In addition to what we went over in the walkthrough for the job posting, we recommend including a description of any benefits or equipment that your company provides, any required or preferred experience, skills, certifications, or training that you are looking for in a candidate, and any languages other than English spoken by staff and trainers. Additional application instructions, such as applying on a different website, should also be listed here if that is applicable. The second requirement that we will go over is to hire and onboard the correct number of trainees for the correct number of hours. The number of trainees required and the number of work hours depends on the system size. This chart describes the number of trainees and hours required for projects in PG&E, SCE, and SDG&E territories. Liberty and Pacific Corps projects meet the job training requirements if they have one trainee at no less than 40 hours, regardless of system size. Trainees may be hired as a temporary or permanent employee, whichever works better for your company. We always recommend that you plan ahead for unforeseen circumstances. If your project is close to the top of the range listed here, you may need to hire an additional 1 to 2 extra job trainees so that at the end of the project, you have ensured that you meet the requirement if the system size is rated and bumped into the next category. Here are some of the types of job training that include project design or engineering, installation, system commissioning, and maintenance. The contractors are required to have their insurance cover all SOMAH job training hires, and this is including temporary hires. As you can see here, the vast majority of job trainees work directly on installation, but over the course of the program, we have seen many working in operations and maintenance and project design or project engineering. For communication and onboarding tips, it is always great to note that trainees arrive to SOMAH projects with a range of experience on job sites. It's always safe to assume that the information might be new to trainees, and this is especially true for promoting job site safety. Before arriving on the job site, here are some recommendations we have for communication with trainees. Let them know when and where to arrive, what they might expect, what they should bring, where, and let them know who their on-site supervisor and point of contact will be. It is also very important to let them know when and how they will be paid for their work. Second, on-the-job communication tips. We recommend selecting a strong site supervisor who is interested in training and educating the trainees. SOMAH training experiences are meant to provide professional and skills development. Pairing a trainee with someone who can provide constructive feedback, mentorship, and an environment that supports trainee growth and development is key to their success. We want trainees to walk away from this experience with new skills and a new motivation to continue working in the solar industry. It's also great to select someone who will discuss goals and desired skills, daily planning, including their breaks, and then also provide feedback. I want to underscore here that job site safety is a top priority. And we know that it is a top priority for you as contractors as well. This includes both physical safety and creating a harassment-free workplace for job trainees and tenants. To reiterate, it is a requirement that the contractor's insurance cover all SOMAH job training hires, including temporary hires. We mentioned job training safety expectations because job trainee feedback over the course of the program has highlighted the importance of working with contractors and all program participants to prioritize safety and inclusivity. The next requirement that we will go over is that contractors must confirm trainee eligibility, including that they must ensure that all trainees have completed the job trainee intake form. These requirements and eligibility must be confirmed before hiring candidates to trainee positions. Covering trainee eligibility. To be eligible for SOMAH job training opportunities, an individual must meet one of these three criteria, which are that they must be currently enrolled in an eligible job training program, or they must be a graduate within the last 12 months. Trainees may also be tenants whose primary residence is the SOMAH property. All trainees must also complete the job training intake form, which I will show you right here. The intake form asks for a lot of information about the job trainee, including demographic information, and all of this demographic information will not be shared outside of the SOMAH program administration team. Trainee eligibility lasts for 12 months from the day trainees start working on their first SOMAH project, regardless of the job training program graduation date. This means that trainees can work on multiple projects over the course of 12 months. For the next and fourth requirement, contractors must pay trainees a wage that meets SOMAH or prevailing wage requirements within 30 days of the trainee's actual work. SOMAH job trainees must be paid at a minimum the contractor's entry-level rate or 1.4 times the local minimum wage, whichever is higher. So if your entry-level rate is higher than 1.4 times the local minimum wage, that is the SOMAH minimum wage for that project. It is also the contractor's responsibility to make sure that they are checking whether their project must meet the prevailing wage law. We will go over this at the next slide. Trainees must be paid within 30 days of their work. Many SOMAH projects are subject to AB 2143, also known as the prevailing wage law. It is the contractor's responsibility to educate themselves about compliance with this law and whether their project must comply. SURGE is the California Public Utility Commission's resource for guidance on compliance with the prevailing wage law. If you have any questions related to prevailing wage compliance, please visit their website or contact SURGE directly. The fifth requirement is to submit the job training affidavit with the incentive claim package. The job training affidavit is completed in PowerClick and also submitted via PDF on the incentive claim step. It must be signed by the contractor and trainee, and it confirms the trainee's name, contact information, employment dates, wages, and the description of the work they completed. Contractors will enter the data fields in PowerClick and upload the PDF signed by both the trainee and the contractor. On the right of this screen, you can see an example of a job training affidavit. The next and final sixth requirement we will go over is to complete SOMAH employment performance surveys for a minimum of 1 year. These employment and performance surveys will be sent to contractors and subcontractors listed on the project after the incentive claim package is submitted. The contractors will receive up to 3 follow-up surveys for up to 1 year and are required to answer all surveys. We send these same surveys to subcontractors who are not required to complete them, but they are highly encouraged, and we really appreciate if you are able to. These surveys provide us with information about trainee experiences and performance, and this helps us to better adapt to the feedback and needs of both trainees and contractors. You can see an example of the beginning of the survey. Depending on the specifics of the project, primary contractors may decide to delegate requirements to some contractors. However, it is ultimately the primary contractor's responsibility to ensure that all requirements are met. Primary contractors are responsible for ensuring all job training requirements are met, for submitting the job training affidavit, and completing contractor employment surveys for each trainee. Subcontractors may complete the following responsibilities: They may enter and manage jobs on the job training portal. This is the most true if they are the ones who work directly with job trainees. They also may hire, and onboard job trainees. They may be the ones to pay job trainees directly, and they may also complete employment and performance survey, which again are optional but highly encouraged. Now that we have gone over the requirements, this next and last section will introduce the many resources that we have available to support contractors in fulfilling job training requirements. The first resource I want to highlight is our Guide to SOMAH's Job Training Requirements. This is a PDF guide that helps contractors understand the job training requirements. It's designed to supplement the SOMAH program handbook. We are in the process of updating it, and we'll have the updated version posted to this same link by the end of the year. I'm also linking here the SOMAH program handbook so that you have direct access to it. Resources on our job portal, which I showed you how to access earlier, include the resume bank, where you can find eligible trainee candidates, and the job training organization directory, where you can find JTOs in your area. Again, the job training organization directory is a fantastic resource for finding local job training programs and graduates. As we went over earlier, you can find one of 95 eligible training programs that are listed in your area, and you can search by keyword or you can search by zip code. You also want to note that some of the programs are for a fee and some are free. So if you are a contractor who would like to send one of your trainee or your employees, including someone who does not have installation experience, to a job training program, you may want to look for a job training program in your area that teaches them new skills and allows them to become eligible for job training opportunities. We also have tenant education services on our team. Tenant education workshops are personalized and are provided with support from the SOMAH program administration team and local community-based organizations. They're a free service for any project that has received a proof of project milestone approval. These workshops inform tenants of SOMAH properties about what they should expect with the installation in their building, and also lets them know about job training opportunities. We can create local job flyers for you to support with outreach and recruitment. Other ideas for recruiting locally include tabling at job fairs at the SOMAH property itself or at community centers nearby. Here's an example of a job training flyer that we have created. And finally, I want to emphasize that the workforce development is available to support you. For job training portal support, we can help enter job training positions. If you are having technical difficulties, we can show you how to use the resume bank to find qualified candidates, and we can also support in developing job descriptions. We can also support with outreach and recruitment of job trainees by connecting you directly with job training organizations, or in some cases, we reach out to job training organizations that we have prior relationships with to help find resumes to send your way and a pool of candidates for your job training opportunity. We are here to support any technical difficulties you have with the job training portal, and we're also here to answer any questions you have to clarify job training requirements. We can support with tenant education and tenant recruitment for job training opportunities. Thank you for watching, and please reach out to us if you have any questions. Take a look at our events page for upcoming opportunities to learn more about the SOMAH program.